Good evening, LTL Nation. This is Fadi Gwanny, and this week we're talking about positivity, but what I'm actually going to try to talk about here is why it's not very important to be positive. Why is everybody really stressing about being positive? At one point in my life, every time somebody comes and tells me, hey, you should be positive about this, I just want to hold that person and do something to them. You know, it's just, you're in the middle of chaos. You just got fired from work, you broke up with your girlfriend, things are just going bad, you discovered a health issue, something just happened with someone you care about, anything that you're in a negative state in. And somebody comes up and says, you got to be positive. You know, you don't want to deal with a person like that. You know, you don't want to talk to someone who keeps saying you got to be positive. You just want to, you don't know anything about me to ask me to be positive. What are you asking for? You want me just to ignore everything I'm in? What's the problem with what I'm at? You don't even know me, buddy. Why are you asking me to be positive? Do you know what I'm going through? Do you know what it feels like? So somebody comes up and tells you, hey, be positive. You just want to smack the guy. You know, it doesn't really work that well. Just a mere statement, be positive. The reality is the problem is not in you being positive. You want to be neutral, go ahead. The only situation that you're actually facing is being negative. That's where the chaos happens. You see, when you're being negative, you're clouded. You're just clouded. You can't see clear what to do next. The problem is not that you have to be positive. You don't have to just walk around, jump up and down for no reason. No, but in being in a negative state, well, physiologically speaking, your body doesn't function the same way. Right? You feel down, you feel exhausted, you feel fatigued. You don't have the energy for anything anymore. It's true, because these emotions, whatever negative emotions you're carrying, affects your body almost immediately. You feel down, your stomach hurts, your heart's beating faster, you feel choked, something's heavy on your chest. You just feel torn to pieces. But that's the problem with being negative. The problem with being negative, the first thing is the physiological part. The second thing, it really clouds your vision. It really clouds your vision. Two of the most predominant negative emotions is fear and anger. Now, what happens when we act or behave out of fear and anger? We see everything horribly. We act horribly towards everything. It doesn't work that way, right? How many times have we acted upon anger? Seconds later, just seconds later, we regret what we said, what we did, and everything. I was like, what was I thinking? How did I say that? How did I do that? When you're in a negative state, you're clouded. At that time, it seems like a good idea to just curse your boss. It seemed like the only thing to do. But once you get out of it, it's like, why the hell did I do that, right? It made you take a step toward, it just made you turn everything worse. Fear, same game, right? The problem is you don't have to be positive. The problem is when you're in a negative state, everything just comes crashing down. Your digestive system slows down or breaks down, your immune system drops, and the intelligence side of your brain shuts down. So if you're thinking that you're about to resolve a situation, guess again, you're about to make it worse. So the first thing you need to do is get out of that negative state. Nobody's asking that from one moment to the next, you're just going to be just dancing around like nothing's going on, but you just have to clear yourself from that negativity. When you clear yourself from that negativity, you see clear. You know what to do next. So here's a few steps you need to approach. First of all, step one, how to really shift your state. Shift your state so you can make the right move. Shift your state to resolve whatever you're in. First step, recognize a negative thought by its emotions. We live the emotions of our thoughts. If you're starting to feel negative, something is faulty about that thought. That thought is about to mess you up. Regardless of what it is, you have to really look deep into it. You see, Sadhguru said that it takes an effort to make a child upset, but it takes an effort to make a grown-up happy. Right? Because our natural state is happiness. Our natural state is in a state of positivity. That's how we're wired. When you're in a negative state, it's not normal. So how do we negative the abnormal state we're in? When you recognize negative emotions, and it's quite easy to recognize it, we tend to ignore it a lot. But if you recognize the negative state you're in, the negative emotion, keep the emotion on the side, find the thought behind it. There must be a faulty thought, an abnormal thought, a thought that is not real, a thought that you've hallucinated. If you got fired from your work, the first thing you're thinking about is all the responsibilities coming crashing down. The bills you're not paying, all that kind of stuff. Again, you're dwelling on the problem. You're not thinking about anything except the thought and the emotions, and you're so into it, and it's going to cloud your vision to resolve anything. If you think of it as, I've been hating this job for a while. It's time for a new job. It's time for a whole life shift. This is it. I never had the guts to do it earlier. Why can't I do it now? This is the opportunity. I can't take responsibility for being fired. It happened. That person decided I'm not suitable. Now it's up to me. What am I doing next? So when you recognize all the fears you have, you're gonna act in the wrong way. If you're acting from those fears, you need to drop those fears so you can know what to do next. If you're acting out of those fears, you're gonna apply to the wrong jobs. You're gonna take a long circle around yourself. You're just gonna take anything just to get by. You're acting out of fear. But if you're acting with a clarity, with a clear mind, what do I want for myself next? You're gonna see way more. You're gonna take better steps. You're acting from a clear perception. If it's clouded with fear, it's clouded with anger, chances are 99.999% you're going to make the wrong move. The problem is not you have to be positive. The problem is you need to get out of that negativity now. It's not serving you. So the first thing, recognize those thoughts. Fix them. You live the emotions of your thoughts. If you fix the thoughts, emotions disappear. Now here's another thing. If the negative thoughts keeps persisting, you need to resolve it more. Don't let it go. Sit with yourself. Work on it. Get it out of there. Your emotions will shift. If the emotions keep staying, keep bombarding you, you need to accept those emotions. If you feel fearful, accept. Say, it's okay for me to be a little afraid. I don't know what's coming up. It's exciting, but I do sense a little fear. Accept that fear. The more you resist it, the more you say, I shouldn't feel afraid, this shouldn't happen to me, the more you resist that emotion, the bigger it grows. So 3 basic steps. Recognize the emotion and the thought. Resolve them. They're probably illusions. They probably don't exist. Your mind throws these situations in the future and wants you to fix them now. It's physically impossible. It's another delusional thought based on misinformation that you receive. You should panic when you get fired. No, that's a misinformation. You shouldn't panic. You should look for the next opportunity. That's what you should do. So misinformation, figure it out. Understand the illusion. The emotion naturally disappears if the emotion sticks around. If the emotion sticks around, just accept it. Be okay with it. I'm fine feeling scared. I'm fine being angry at that person for screwing me over. I'm all okay with that. That's perfectly okay for me. Right? I'm okay with that emotion. I'm not resisting. And the emotion then, and only then, passes. So you stop panicking. You need to have clarity. You don't have to be positive. You don't have to throw a party because you got fired or because you broke up. You don't have to do that. It's ridiculous. Somebody tells me, hey, you got to be positive. I just want to punch them in their face. You don't have to be positive, but you need to get out of that negative place. You need to look at that negative place and go like, this is not natural. My physiology rejects it. My mind doesn't like it. And chances are from this place, I'm going to mess up everything coming over. So ladies and gentlemen, please bear this in mind. 3 basic steps. Understand exactly what you need to do, exactly where you need to be at, and move from there. Don't be positive, but don't be negative. Get yourself out of there. It works better. April 8th, again, in Abu Dhabi. 7 coaches for 4 hours. A couple hours, we're going to talk about everything you need to hear. Everything we believe is important for you to proceed with your life. We're going to have a couple of hours where there's great opportunities for one-on-one with the coach of your choice. Don't miss this opportunity. Entry fees is a piece of cake. We just want to cling with you. We want to mix with you. We want to see what's on your mind, what's going on with you. How can we help from here? How can we just, again, we don't know you, we don't know your stories, but there are basics in every human mind where we naturally mess things up. Understanding the correct information will give you a complete transformation. So I hope to see you guys there and stay posted for the Arabic version. Catch you guys later.